Life in the Philippines, a cheap country with amazing females and strange things. The Philippines, where life is unbelievably cheap, the women are stunning, and the culture, well, let's just say you're not ready for what you're about to see. How cheap are we talking? How unique is life here? And what's the one thing that completely shocks foreigners? Let me show you. The Philippines isn't just another tropical paradise. It's a country that defies expectations at every turn. Whether it's the shockingly low cost of living, the warmth of its people, or the strange, unexpected things you'll only find here, this place is full of surprises. How cheap is life here compared to the West? Well, imagine living in a beachfront apartment for less than what you'd spend on rent for a tiny studio in New York. Sounds unreal, right? But that's just the beginning. The culture here is unlike anywhere else. Friendly, yet mysterious. Modern, yet deeply traditional. And then there's the dating scene, which, well, let's just say many foreigners leave with stories they never expected to tell. But it's not all sunshine and smiles. There are things about the Philippines that will completely throw you off. Some will make you laugh, others will leave you speechless. And one might just change how you see this country forever. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll either be booking a flight or questioning everything you thought you knew about life in the Philippines. If you've ever wondered how some people manage to live like kings on a budget that wouldn't even get them by in the West, the Philippines holds the answer. This country is shockingly affordable, and it's not just about cheap food and rent. Almost everything costs way less than what you're used to. But why? Let's start with the basics. Rent, food, transportation, and entertainment. All of it comes at a fraction of the price compared to the US, Europe, or even other Asian countries like Japan or South Korea. In cities like Manila or Cebu, you can rent a decent apartment for as little as $300 a month. Want to live by the beach? In places like Dumaguete or Siargao, you can get a beachfront bungalow for under $500. A full meal at a local eatery, $2 to $3. Even if you go for something fancier, a meal at a decent restaurant rarely crosses $10. Street food is even cheaper and, let's be honest, sometimes tastier than anything you'd get in a five-star place. A plate of sizzling pork sisig, fresh grilled seafood, or a bowl of hearty bolalo soup can cost less than a Starbucks coffee back home. Forget expensive taxis or Uber fares. Here, you can hop on a jeepney for 20 cents or take a tricycle ride across town for $1. Even Grab, the local ride-hailing app, is ridiculously cheap compared to Western standards. One of the biggest reasons the Philippines is so affordable is the exchange rate. $1 equals around 55 Philippine pesos, PHP, meaning even a modest Western salary turns into a small fortune here. That's why so many digital nomads, retirees, and expats flock to the Philippines, because they can live comfortably without breaking the bank. It's simple economics. The average salary in the Philippines is much lower than in Western countries. For example, a teacher or office worker might earn $400 to $800 per month. Because of this, local businesses and services adjust their prices accordingly. Even healthcare is significantly cheaper. A private doctor's consultation can cost as little as $20, and dental work that would set you back thousands elsewhere is a fraction of the price here. It's simple economics. The average salary in the Philippines is much lower than in Western countries. For example, a teacher or office worker might earn $400 to $800 per month. Because of this, local businesses and services adjust their prices accordingly. Even healthcare is significantly cheaper. A private doctor's consultation can cost as little as $20, and dental work that would set you back thousands elsewhere is a fraction of the price here. Think five-star hotels are out of reach? Not in the Philippines. You can stay at a high-end resort for under $100 per night. Need a massage? $5 will get you a full hour of relaxation. Even a trip to the mall feels different here. designer brands, tech gadgets, and local crafts all come at prices that seem too good to be true. The Philippines offers a lifestyle that's practically impossible in the West unless you're wealthy. Whether it's fine dining, island hopping, or just living stress-free without worrying about every dollar spent, this country makes it all possible. And the best part? You don't have to sacrifice quality. Filipina women are known worldwide for their beauty, warmth, and charm. But what exactly makes them stand out? It's not just their stunning looks. It's a mix of personality, values, and culture that makes them unforgettable. With a unique blend of Malay, Spanish, Chinese, and American influences, Filipinas have diverse features, ranging from fair to sun-kissed skin, delicate to striking facial structures, and their signature long, dark hair. But beyond appearances, it's their kindness and warmth that truly set them apart. Filipinas are known for being incredibly hospitable and family-oriented. In Filipino culture, making guests feel welcome is second nature. Whether you're a stranger or a close friend, they treat you like family, always ensuring you feel at home. This hospitality extends to their relationships as well. Many men worldwide are drawn to Filipinas not only for their beauty, but for their strong sense of loyalty and devotion. Family values are deeply ingrained in their upbringing, making them loving and supportive partners who prioritize relationships over fleeting connections. One major advantage Filipinas have over women in many other countries is their fluency in English. Since the Philippines was once an American colony, English is widely spoken, making communication seamless for foreigners. This is a huge factor in why they are so popular for dating and marriage. Language barriers are minimal, and cultural exchange becomes much easier. Unlike in some Western countries where dating norms have become complex, traditional values still hold strong in the Philippines. Many Filipinas believe in long-term commitment and prefer stable, meaningful relationships. Another reason Filipinas are admired worldwide is their naturally cheerful and friendly personalities. They are known for their easygoing nature, bright smiles, and ability to make people feel at ease. Whether you're in a bustling city or a quiet rural town, their warmth and friendliness are undeniable. This isn't just politeness, it's part of the culture. Filipinas are raised to be respectful and considerate, making them pleasant to be around. Ultimately, what makes Filipinas so famous isn't just their physical beauty. It's their combination of intelligence, kindness, loyalty, and traditional values. Whether it's their welcoming nature, their dedication to relationships, or their ability to adapt and connect with people from different backgrounds, they leave a lasting impression on everyone they meet. The Philippines is an incredible country, filled with breathtaking beaches, delicious food, and some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. But beyond its postcard-perfect landscapes, this place has its fair share of strange, surprising, and downright bizarre things that you won't find anywhere else. From unusual customs to mind-blowing traditions, here are some of the strangest things you'll encounter in the Philippines. Let's start with something that shocks almost every foreigner: the infamous balut. If you've never heard of it, balut is a fertilized duck egg that has been boiled and eaten straight from the shell. But here's where it gets wild. Inside the egg, you'll actually find a partially developed duck embryo. Yep, feathers, beak, and all, it's a popular street food, especially enjoyed with a little salt and vinegar. While some travelers are horrified at the thought, locals swear by its rich flavor and high protein content. If you ever visit the Philippines, someone will definitely challenge you to try it. Will you be brave enough? In the mountain province of Sagada, there's a burial tradition that will make your jaw drop: hanging coffins. Instead of being buried underground, the dead are placed in wooden coffins that are then nailed or tied to the side of a cliff. Why? The locals believe that the closer you are to the sky, the easier it is for your soul to reach heaven. Some of these coffins are hundreds of years old, hanging eerily on limestone rock formations. It's both a haunting and fascinating sight that you won't see anywhere else. The Philippines is a deeply religious country, and nowhere is this more evident than during Holy Week, when some Filipinos take their faith to extreme levels. In certain towns, men reenact the suffering of Jesus Christ by whipping themselves until they're covered in blood. Some even go as far as being nailed to a cross in public ceremonies. While the Catholic Church discourages this practice, many devotees believe that suffering like Christ will cleanse them of their sins or bring them blessings. It's a painful, intense spectacle that leaves most tourists in shock. If you thought public transportation was chaotic in other countries, wait until you ride a jeepney in the Philippines. Originally made from leftover U.S. military jeeps after World War II, these colorful, graffiti-covered vehicles have become the backbone of Filipino transport. But here's the crazy part. Jeepneys don't have fixed stops. Passengers simply yell, "Para!" which means stop whenever they want, to get off, even in the middle of traffic. Inside, you'll find people squeezed together on long benches, sometimes even hanging onto the back. With loud music, neon lights, and a driver who weaves through traffic like a race car driver, it's an experience you won't forget. In Bohol, you'll find one of the strangest and most adorable creatures on the planet, the Philippine tarsier. These tiny primates have enormous eyes, long fingers, and a look that's straight out of a science fiction movie. They're also one of the smallest primates in the world, no bigger than your hand. But despite their cute appearance, they are extremely shy and sensitive. Loud noises and too much handling can actually stress them out to the point of death. That's why strict rules are in place at the Tarsier Sanctuary, where visitors must remain quiet and observe them from a distance. Shopping malls are everywhere in the Philippines, but one, in particular, has a secret that most people don't know. SM City Bacoor was built on top of an active fault line. While experts say the chances of a major quake happening anytime soon are low, the idea of a shopping mall sitting directly over an earthquake zone is enough to make anyone nervous. Yet, despite this, thousands of people visit the mall daily, casually shopping and eating as if nothing's wrong. Talk about living on the edge. Literally. The Banaue Rice Terraces are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but what makes them truly strange is how they were built. These massive, breathtaking terraces were carved into the mountains by hand over 2,000 years ago, without modern tools or machines. The Ifugao people used nothing but stones, wood, and their bare hands to shape these enormous steps, which are still used today to grow rice. Some locals even believe that the terraces were built by giants because the scale of the construction seems impossible for humans. Looking at them, it's hard to disagree. You'd expect the world's largest indoor arena to be in the US or China, but nope, it's in the Philippines. The Philippine Arena can hold over 55,000 people, making it the biggest of its kind. It's used for concerts, sporting events, and even religious gatherings. Built by the Iglesia ni Cristo, one of the country's biggest religious groups, this massive structure is a symbol of Filipino ambition and engineering prowess. Lake Pinatubo is one of the most fascinating natural wonders in the Philippines because, technically, it shouldn't exist. It was formed after a volcanic eruption in 1991, and before that there was no lake at all, just a towering mountain. But here's the weirdest part. Depending on the season, the lake changes color and even shrinks and expands. During heavy rains, it fills up, creating a stunning turquoise-blue body of water, but in drier months, it recedes. It's a lake with a mind of its own. Forget fancy dining etiquette. Filipinos love eating with their hands, a tradition known as kamayan. It's not just about grabbing food, it's an experience. Many local restaurants even encourage this practice by serving meals on banana leaves with no plates or utensils in sight. Filipinos say that eating with your hands makes the food taste better. And honestly, they might be onto something. The Philippines is more than just beaches and islands. It's a land full of surprises, where ancient traditions and modern quirks blend in the most unexpected ways. Whether it's eating a fertilized duck egg, hopping onto a jeepney, or standing beneath a mall built on a fault line, the country never fails to amaze. So, if you ever find yourself in the Philippines, be prepared for some of the strangest and most unforgettable experiences of your life. If there's one thing the Philippines knows how to do, it's throw a party. And not just any party, but a full-blown, all-out, days-long celebration filled with food, music, and dancing. In this country, festivals or fiestas aren't just occasional events. They're a way of life. No matter what month you visit, there's always a town or city celebrating something. From religious processions to street parades bursting with color, the fiesta culture in the Philippines is unlike anything else in the world. One of the most famous fiestas is Sinulog in Cebu, an event so massive that it turns the entire city into a dance floor. Every January, millions of people flood the streets, dressed in bright costumes, performing choreographed dances in honor of the Santo Niño, Child Jesus. The energy is electric, and the party doesn't stop until the sun comes up. And if you think that's wild, wait until you hear about Ati-Atihan in Aklan, where revelers paint themselves black, dress in tribal outfits, and dance non-stop to the deafening beat of drums. It's called the mother of all Philippine festivals, and for good reason. People party as if there's no tomorrow. But fiestas aren't just about dancing. They're also a feast for the stomach. In every celebration, expect tables overflowing, with lechon, whole roasted pig, pancit, noodles for long life, and kakanin, sticky rice desserts. In many towns, the tradition of open houses means anyone can walk into a stranger's home, sit down, and eat like family. No invitation needed. It doesn't matter if you're a foreign tourist or a long-lost relative, if there's food on the table. You're welcome to dig in. What's even more incredible is that many of these fiestas happen even in small, impoverished communities. Even if a family has little money, they will still go out of their way to prepare a feast, believing that sharing food and celebrating together brings blessings. It's a tradition deeply rooted in bayanihan, the Filipino spirit of helping one another. Some families even save up for months just to ensure that their fiesta celebration is grand. While many fiestas have religious roots, some are just plain bizarre. Take the Pahias festival in Lucban, Quezon, where locals decorate their houses with colorful rice wafers, fruits, and vegetables to honor the patron saint of farmers. The entire town turns into an edible art gallery, with houses literally covered in food. Then there's the Lechon Festival in Batangas, where people parade whole roasted pigs dressed in costumes. It's both hilarious and mouth-watering at the same time. In the Philippines, the fiesta culture is more than just an event. It's an attitude. It's about celebrating life, no matter the hardships. It's a reminder that no matter how tough things get, there's always a reason to dance, eat, and enjoy the moment. If you ever get the chance to experience a Philippine fiesta, don't hesitate. Just show up hungry, bring your best dance moves, and prepare for an unforgettable time. You can talk about the beaches, the food, or the festivals, but ask anyone who has been to the Philippines what truly makes the country special, and they'll all say the same thing: the people. Filipinos have a way of making you feel like you belong, even if you've just met them. Whether you're a lost tourist in a bustling city or a first-time visitor in a quiet province, there's always someone ready to help you with a smile. 1. Of the first things you'll notice is how genuinely friendly and welcoming Filipinos are. They don't just greet you out of politeness. They actually want to know about you. Strangers will ask where you're from, if you've eaten, and if you're enjoying your stay. And before you know it, they're inviting you to their home for a meal. Hospitality isn't just a cultural trait in the Philippines, it's a way of life. Even in the poorest neighborhoods, people will go out of their way to make sure you feel comfortable and welcomed. Then there's the Filipino sense of humor. No matter how difficult life gets, Filipinos will always find a reason to laugh. They joke about everything: traffic, the weather, even serious problems. It's not that they don't take life seriously, but rather, they've mastered the art of finding joy in the smallest things. It's common to see Filipinos teasing each other, in good fun, and if you can take a joke, you'll instantly fit right in. Another thing that sets Filipinos apart is their deep sense of bayanihan, or community spirit. If someone needs help, you won't see just one or two people stepping in. You'll see an entire neighborhood coming together. It's the kind of generosity that doesn't expect anything in return. From lending money without a second thought to sharing food with whoever is around, Filipinos believe in taking care of each other like family. And speaking of family, that's another reason why the Philippines feels like home. Family is everything here. Unlike in Western countries where young adults move out and live on their own, Filipinos often live with their parents well into adulthood. Grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles all stay close, forming an extended support system that's always there in times of need. Even friendships feel like family. It's not unusual for Filipinos to call close friends kuya, older brother, or ate, older sister, even if they're not related. But perhaps the most heartwarming thing about Filipinos is their resilience. No matter how many typhoons, earthquakes, or economic hardships come their way, they always find a way to rise again, with a smile. You'll see people laughing and singing even in evacuation centers, making the best out of the worst situations. It's this unbreakable spirit that makes the Philippines feel less like a country you visit and more like a home you never want to leave. If you've ever felt like a foreigner in other places, the Philippines will be different. Here, you are not just a visitor. You're family. I thought I'd seen it all. The stunning beaches, the ridiculously low cost of living, the never-ending festivals, and the warmest, friendliest people you could ever meet. But there was one thing about the Philippines that caught me completely off guard, something I never expected, and it left me speechless. It wasn't the chaotic traffic, though that was definitely an experience. It wasn't even the fact that Filipinos put sugar in everything, from spaghetti to fried chicken. What truly shocked me was how incredibly happy people are, even when they have so little. I've traveled to many countries where people have everything. Big houses, expensive. Cars, all the latest technology, and yet they're stressed, exhausted, and constantly chasing more. But in the Philippines, I saw people living in tiny houses, some struggling to make ends meet, and yet they were laughing, singing, and genuinely enjoying life in a way I had never seen before. I met a tricycle driver who worked 12-hour days under the scorching sun, yet he greeted every passenger with a smile. I talked to a street vendor selling barbecue on the side of the road who cracked jokes and sang as he grilled. I even saw kids playing barefoot in the rain, making up their own games with nothing but sticks and rocks, laughing like they didn't have a single worry in the world. At first, I didn't understand it. How could they be so happy when they had so little? But then I realized something. Filipinos don't measure happiness by material things. They don't stress over the latest phone or the fanciest car. Instead, they focus on what really matters: family, friendship, community, and enjoying the moment. There's a saying in the Philippines, "Bahala na." It loosely translates to, whatever happens, happens. It's not about being careless or irresponsible. It's about trusting that things will work out and choosing to enjoy life despite the uncertainties. This mindset is what allows Filipinos to stay positive, even in the toughest situations. Another thing that shocked me was how Filipinos find reasons to celebrate, no matter what. Lost your job? Let's have a gathering to cheer you up. A typhoon just destroyed half the town? Time to rebuild, together with food and music. Even funerals feel like family reunions, where people share memories, laughter, and of course, food. I had read about Filipino hospitality before, but experiencing it firsthand was something else. Strangers invite you into their homes, feed you like you're their long-lost relative, and treat you with a level of kindness that feels almost unreal. And they don't do it for show. it's just who they are. At the end of the day, this was the most shocking thing for me. Happiness in the Philippines isn't tied to wealth, it's tied to people. And after spending time here, it made me rethink everything I thought I knew about what it really means to live a good life. After experiencing the Philippines firsthand, one thing is crystal clear. This country is unlike any other. It's not just about the cheap cost of living or the stunning islands. It's not just about the famous hospitality or the unique traditions. It's about something deeper, a way of life that challenges everything we think we know about happiness, success, and what truly matters. I came here expecting affordability, adventure, and maybe a few surprises along the way. What I didn't expect was to leave with a completely different perspective on life. The people here redefine joy, not through wealth or material things, but through community, laughter, and gratitude for even the smallest things. Now, here's a question for you. Could you live in the Philippines? Could you trade the stress of modern life for simpler days, surrounded by some of the most welcoming people on earth? Or maybe you just need a break, somewhere that reminds you what life is really about. Either way, one thing is for sure. The Philippines will change you. So, tell me, what was the most surprising thing about the Philippines for you? Drop a comment below and let's talk. And if this video made you think differently, even for a second, then you know what to do.